Blog Talk Radio.
Are you ready to take a bite out of the competition? Are you looking for ideas to make your business better? Welcome to the Core Business Show with Tim Jacquet, sponsored by Apple Capital Group. At the core of every successful business, you'll find people making a difference. And with each episode of the Core Business Show, we talk with those people, examine those ideas, and explore the strategies that make them special. Now, the host of the Core Business Show, Tim Jacquet.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Core Business Show. Today, I'm going to talk about 6 ways to get people to listen to you. This is based on a book about the power of communication. It's a great business book, and you should take a look at it. It's by Garcia, is the author. I just ran across it. It's about take this moment to share this with you. Hello, Fred Garcia is the author of the book, and again, he begins with number 1: keep your mouth shut for a couple of moments. Have people absorb who you are. When you go and stand before them, which makes sense, they're sizing you up visually. And before you say anything, let them look at you for a couple of moments and then speak. Because everybody's going to quiet down and listen. That's number 1. 2 is engage your audience. You engage them in doing something. You want to look at them. You want to be confident that you stand before them. And you want to kind of give an interaction back and forth. You give, they get, you get, give. And number 3, you want to grab their attention to make it memorable. Why are you there? Whatever you have to say, make sure you have a one or something that you say that's going to really penetrate their heart and their mind, that they'll know what this is all about. Number 4, use visual clue. If you use a story, make sure you can make it visual in one sense. But the person who wrote this, he says that use attention-provoking signals when you move from one part to the next. For instance, you might verbally number your key points 1, 2, and 3. You can say that. Or use verbal signals. Let's move on. The next topic is. So you kind of lead them into the next topic. Number 5, recap what matters. Say in a summary, what you want them to walk away with. And number 8 is always kind of listen and engage your audience. If you have a conservative audience, gear your speech, in my opinion, to that particular audience. If you have a liberal audience, gear your speech and your mannerisms to that particular audience, if that makes sense. So if I'm sitting in a room full of bankers, I'm going to dress like a banker. I'm going to act like a banker and be very conservative. If I'm in a room full of high-tech entrepreneurs, I'm going to interact in a different way because dress down anyway, then not necessarily going to be dressed in a suit. They're going to be high-tech. They might be in jeans and shorts. I'm going to make my speech down to them as well. So you need to kind of guide the way you want your own speech, how you're going to interact with them. So that's my opinion. I'm Tim Jacquet, your host. Let's take a break real quick, and we'll be back in a moment to recap.
You're listening to the Core Business Show, sponsored by Apple Capital Group. Apple Capital Group in Jacksonville, Florida, is a commercial lender that specializes in asset-based loans, equipment leasing and financing, invoice financing, commercial real estate loans, and asset-based financing in the U.S. and Canada. Apple Capital Group is a direct lender that lends on their private equity investment portfolio. 90% of most loans are decided within 2 hours, and vendor funding within 24 hours after documents are completed, with a one-page application. No slow no's, just a quick decision and a fast yes. To get more information about lending from Apple Capital Group, call 866-611-7457. That's 866-611-7457 to speak with one of our loan specialists. Or visit us right now at applecapitalgroup.com. Welcome back to the Core. Once again, here's Tim Jacquet.
Welcome back to the Core. So let's go real quick. Again, this book is going to be based on the power of communication. It's a good read. It's by Fred Garcia. It talks about communication, and he marks 5 points. I marked 6. His number 1 point is to keep your mouth shut for a couple of moments. Let them size you up. Number 2, get your audience engaged. Number 3, grab their attention to make it memorable. Number 4, use cues. And number 5, recap what matters. And I'm going to add one other thing to this whole scenario is that you need to listen. You need to actually gauge your audience as you look at them. Is it a banker, conservative, or is it something else? So that's my spiel. Again, it's Tim JK, your host. Thank you to the Core Business Show. And tune in daily from Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to noon. Take care.
Thank you for listening to the Core Business Show with Tim Jacquet. For a free quote on equipment leasing and financing, visit our website, applecapitalgroup.com. That's applecapitalgroup.com. And fill out the information to receive your free quote. We hope you'll join us for our next episode. And remember, you can always get to the Core via iTunes. You'll find all our previous episodes there. Thanks again for listening to the Core Business Show with Tim Jacquet.